back yet again. Lombardi Sweep. That's 2 weeks in a row from now until the Super Bowl, when obviously the Packers are still playing in it. We have a show every single week. We are live on Wednesday nights on the Flurry Sports YouTube channel, the Flurry Sports in Lombardi Sweep Facebook pages, on the Flurry Sports Twitch channel. So if you are listening to this after the fact, watching this after the fact, just know you can join the show live. We've been doing it 6 p.m. Central, and you can hop in the chat. You can talk to us. Obviously, we love fan interaction. If you have something to say, come say it. And we will either agree or, really, just no ghost profiles. I need names. I need profile pictures. Let us know who you really are. But yeah, definitely come and join us this season. I think it should be a fun one. And this week, we'll go over everything there is to talk about. But I got to tell you guys, there really is not much to talk about other than I'm Zach Bruner and this is Luke Reimer. Didn't introduce us. Trevor is off because Trevor's in Milwaukee. So if you know anything about what's going on, Trevor's swimming.
They're underwater.
That's insane.
Did you see the videos from the state fair?
Yeah. That's insane.
Nobody could leave. The whole tunnel was just underwater.
Right. Yeah. Just like a video of a stairwell. It's like my car's down there. Okay. Mm-hmm. What do you do?
Right.
Like, there's absolutely nothing to do. Your life is completely ruined for the next week, at least.
Right.
More than that, I assume.
But even still, like, you're gonna have problems up through like winter and everything. Like, you need, like, if you're in Milwaukee, you like need to figure it out quick before it gets cold out.
That's a good point. Yeah, and with the way I just feel like everything's happening right now, we might be getting some September flurries or something.
Yeah.
It's been a weird year, so yeah, figure it out quick. And boy, Giannis is looking around like, hey, maybe I should have went to LA. Maybe I should have went to San Antonio. I mean, San Antonio's
looking nice
too, I guess.
Yeah,
that's true. Janet and Trevor both got wiped out.
Yeah,
half the show. Well, we are fighting on different sides of the state, and at the moment, looking all right. I want to start with something non-Packer related, though, because I have something here that I think everyone will be interested in. And that is, let me show you here, cheddar cheese vodka.
Oh.
Distilled in Chippewa Falls. I've never had it. And so we're going to do a live review here.
Yeah,
I'm going to do a shot of Bloody Mary mix as well, because I feel like that's what it should go into.
For sure.
But I'll try a shot of it. It is from, if you've ever seen on Instagram, Facebook, Meanwhile in Wisconsin, he's a Wisconsin creator. This is his vodka, which is kind of sick. It says pairs well with pocket cheese, which love that.
Love pocket cheese.
But yeah, otherwise, good on him.
My initial thought is that it feels like it would somewhat coincide with some of the dill pickle vodka in a Bloody Mary.
Yes, and this was distilled at the Chippewa River Distillery. They make insane like dill and garlic, horseradish vodkas for Bloody Marys. It's incredible. So cheese sounds interesting, but I do have high hopes because I know like their Bloody Marys are the best because of their vodka. It's incredible. Yeah. So a little afraid on a shot. It smells like cheese.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I'll do a real shot too. I'm not gonna wuss out, but I assume it's 40, right? Yeah, 40% alcohol. Okay. Got a healthy shot of it here. So bottoms up. It's cheesy. That is very cheesy. It's like Cheez-It cheese.
Okay.
Actually,
it's like powder tasting cheese.
Not like Kraft cheese, like Kraft mac and cheese. It's in between It's in between blue cheese and like Cheez-It powder type of cheese. It might be alcohol, but it does taste like blue cheese, which I don't hate.
Is it like all cheese? Is there any alcohol taste to it?
I think the alcohol taste might be making it taste like blue cheese, but otherwise
Oh,
not
maybe
really.
a little
It's not
bitter,
like
a little bit.
a little bit, but it's not like a. The only one I can really compare it to is like UV vodka. It's
Yeah,
not like UV vodka where it's like nail polish. Like it's a
right.
good vodka, and the cheese flavor I think is blue cheese. It's obviously supposed to be cheddar. I would consider it more. Maybe it's like a sharp cheddar though, because that's a little bitter.
It is. Yeah.
Maybe it's like that, but I will. I mean, we got to give it a proper test. So we're gonna try it in a Bloody Mary here. I have what is one of my favorite Bloody Mary mixes. It's a Grillo's pickle Bloody
Oh,
Mary mix. So we got a little pickle action. We got a little cheese action. And we put a healthy shot in here. And that I figured, one, I want to give a proper review, and two, a review of a Wisconsin product. And two, we don't have much to talk about. And I feel like talking about the receiving core is going to be more
you're
fun
gonna
after a
need.
few shots of ice.
Correct. You're gonna need some alcohol in you.
Right. So let's get this going here. But yeah, distilled in Chippewa, like 15 minutes from my childhood home. So right down the
Hometown
road from
brew.
Land Kugels. But yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it should be. I wouldn't be taking shots of it necessarily all the time, but I'd be putting that in. If I combined one thing you do at that distillery is you go a couple different flavors of vodka in your Bloody Mary.
Sure.
So if I did this and the garlic one,
Oh
be
yeah.
top notch, I think.
I can imagine that'd be pretty good. So I'm just thinking with the cheddar cheese vodka there, that
Mm-hmm.
if I was like in college and I had that, like when I was in college, I think everyone, the OGs will remember. I was shotgunning a beer every time Devontae Adams scored a touchdown. Like
Yeah,
if I had that, I think I'd be doing a shot of that every time Devontae Adams scored a touchdown.
honestly. So I think this could become the official vodka of Lombardi Sweep. I can't remember this guy's name. Ryan, I think Ryan Rubel. Meanwhile, in
Sounds right.
Wisconsin, if you're seeing this and you want Luke and myself to rip shots of Chedka every time Josh Jacobs falls into the end zone this year, or a player of your choice,
Right.
I think let's make it happen. I think this is a social media phenomenon that we can get going.
Yeah.
We'll even get it down to Texas for Janet to start ripping them too.
I feel like Janet would like it.
I
I don't know if
I
I don't know if she
guarantee it.
drinks or not. I honestly have no idea, but she feels like she would like that.
I think she would. She loves cheese, and I think her family is from the area right by
Yeah.
that distillery too. So yeah, I think we need to make that happen. So official rating, honestly, as a shot, it is what it is. So I think it's kind of a 10 out of 10 for what it is. It is more blue cheese though, so maybe I'll knock it down 2 for 8. In a Bloody Mary, maybe it's the dill pickle mix too. But if I had some hot sauce in this, it'd
Oh
be
yeah.
pretty close to a perfect Bloody Mary. This is 10 out of 10 for Bloody Mary making. I love
Yeah.
this.
Get a little shot glass of what's the hot sauce that I like? The little hot sauce in there. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, yeah, I like them spicy. Always got to make it spicy.
Yeah.
But yeah, love that. So now
Tabasco
I
is the
think
hot sauce I like. I don't know why I blanked on that.
Tabasco's good. I like Crystal hot sauce in
Oh
Bloody
yeah.
Marys too. I think it's a hot sauce that gets it's a little underrated. It's usually like $1 for like a big ass bottle of it too.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, now that my blood is moving a little bit, I feel alive.
Warming up a little
Maybe
bit.
that, yeah, maybe that's alarming for me. Maybe I need to have a mental health check, but instead, I think I just want to talk about the Green Bay Packers. So let's
Fuck
do
yeah.
that. So last week was what it was. We're going into week 2. And again, we are recording this Wednesday night. Tomorrow is the first day of joint practices with the Indianapolis Colts. They are, I'm sure, arriving in Indianapolis right now after a day of practice today. And there's a lot going on in Green Bay since the last time we've talked. I think the biggest news, there's 2 huge stories. The biggest news is probably the receiving core, and the second biggest is the guy throwing them the football. So which one do you want to start with?
I guess we can do let's do receiving core. Let's let's rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah, so we talked about injuries last week, and there was a bunch of them. We knew Christian Watson's still coming back from his torn ACL. I think he's ahead of schedule in my personal opinion, but
It sounds
truthfully, he's still weeks away. You know.
Yeah, it's from Gutekunst's his interviews, whatever. It sounds like that Christian Watson is going to be out through. I mean, he's going to start on pup, so that's what 4 weeks.
Yeah,
And then and I would imagine it's probably a little bit even after that. But if everything's moving well, I guess probably best case scenario is what, like week 7, week 8 for Christian Watson.
right. And Packers have a week 5 bye, so the absolute best case scenario is week 6.
Yeah.
And even then, whenever he comes back, you got to assume snap count anyway. So back to a 75% Christian Watson. We're talking mid-season at best, most likely. So that's one. We also got plenty of other injuries. We got Dontavian Wicks has a calf injury. Jaden Reed was in a walking boot pre-game of the preseason. He has a foot injury. Sounds like he could be out through the rest of the preseason as well. And then we've seen Savion Williams, and the second rookie the Packers drafted this year. He had a concussion earlier in the offseason. And then today he was using the massage gun on his hamstring after he left practice. Don't love to see soft tissue injuries, especially at this point in the season. And then Romeo Doubs, he had a bunch of concussions last year. He has had a couple kind of hard hits already this preseason, whether it be in the game. I think he had, or no, it was the tight end who had one, but in practice and stuff, whether it be inaccurate passes, whether it be honestly just kind of putting his body on the line. He's been being thrown around. Today, practice was halted for like multiple minutes because he hit the ground hard as hell. I'm hearing it's not his head, which is good. That would be worst case scenario given his history, but back. And this kind of almost feels like the Tua situation where everyone's like, oh, good, it's just a spine injury. Which,
Right.
like, wait a minute, what? Doesn't sound like it was Tua-esque. He got up and hobbled off to the locker room. But Romeo Doubs is now banged up, and everyone has been saying how good of a camp he's been having. So yet another Packer wide receiver on the shelf for this weekend, probably.
Yeah, I'm not happy you brought up Tua, but I was going to bring up Tua. Romeo Doubs has some Tua in him where he's just not very good at getting tackled.
No, his strength and issue are the same. Are that he's so good at tracking the ball in the air, and he's kind of always the guy getting those deep throws. And he comes back to the ball, and he kind of just throws himself in the air, and then the defense comes back under him or undercuts him or just tries to play the ball, and he's just put in shitty situations all the time. Today, it sounds like it was another one of those. It was Malik Willis throwing the football, I assume. Jordan Love's not practicing. But the ball kind of floated in the air. Romeo Doubs was adjusting to the ball yet again. And then Evan Williams was playing the ball. And it sounds like he barely touched him, but it's just a awkward fall situation, probably.
One of those weird plays.
Yeah. And again, he got up and under his own power got to the locker room. He was hobbling and stuff like that. That's not good. But after such a strong camp to start, and then everyone's talking about how he has the best hands on the team. He has a couple drops in the preseason game. Now he's hurt and probably on the shelf for at least this game. I mean, Packers are down to what? They got Matthew Golden. Thank God he's been great.
Yep.
Good thing we drafted him. And then we have Malik Heath and
guys trying to make the team.
Right. Malik Heath's kind of making the team by default at this point. So it's not a great situation.
Yeah, so I guess there's kind of two ways to look at that, right? Like, oh, woe is the Packers, our receivers are down, there's not really much there. But I mean, but the other side of it, right? Like I just mentioned, like there's guys that are trying to make the team right now that have an incredible shot to get reps, get I guess preseason starting reps. So guys, I don't know, guys like Cornelius Johnson, Will Shepherd, I know was looked good to at least start training camp. Julian Hicks, guys like this. But the one that's interesting, right, is McCole Hardman.
Right.
Not necessarily his greatest game on the last preseason game. But I mean, Green Bay went out of their way to sign him. I thought coming into to sign as the returner, but with injuries down, Nicole Hardman's probably going to be next to Matthew Golden, next to Malik Heath as a starting receiver. So it feels like a really big opportunity for him to kind of show that, hey, I can play more than returner. I can, play somewhat in this offense with what I'm guessing is going to be the twos, but with that starting preseason unit on Saturday.
Yeah, and everyone's talking about how he needs to have a big game, Bisaccia included. Obviously, in the preseason game, he muffed 2 punts, 2
One
kicks,
for sure.
one for sure. And in typical fan action, like the Packers, we don't need to pretend it was one of the worst outings we've ever seen, right? They
Mm-hmm.
barely showed up. But someone has to be the scapegoat, and it was Miko Hardman. Everyone's like, he can't even catch a punt. It's like, okay, that was one of a million things that went wrong, but you're right. That wasn't the biggest issue, but it is an issue. So he's going to be given all he can handle, I guess. Yeah, on Saturday, Packers play in Indy at noon. Yeah, to your point, I assume they're for sure putting him back there to return kicks because they need to see if he can bounce back, which I think he will. And then 2, let's see if he can carve a role on offense because the injuries aren't going to stop here. We're not going to get healthy and be good to go. We know
Yeah,
that.
I mean, especially with the return game, right? All of a sudden, Green Bay would kind of felt like, right, Keyshawn Nixon was kind of the guy for returning kicks and punts. That role's kind of changed as he's moving more towards the offense or more towards the
Mm.
defense. Jaden Reed maybe was a thought of that could be the back there, but given his how large Veroli is on offense, plus now that he's got a foot injury, who knows what that's gonna lead out to as a return game. Like it's an open spot here, and Mecole Hardman has shown in the past that like he's awesome with the ball in his hands. So I would imagine, to your point, that he's going to see a ton of work returning and on offense on Saturday.
And the other guy that made, I guess, a highlight in the return game on, I think it was Packers Family Night, was Romeo Doubs. But all of a sudden, it's like he's the last person I'm putting back there to return a punt.
Correct.
It's like not only do we need him on offense, but he suddenly is very injury prone. It feels like I know a lot of Packers media are putting that label on Jordan Love, which I'm not going to argue for or against. I mean, you could do either perfectly fine, but I think Romeo Doubs is the one we need to start looking at. I mean, him and Christian Watson, I suppose, with that label, and that's not great. Drafted same draft class, 2 guys expected to put a lot of time on the field in the Packers offense, and we kind of are banking on both of them. Watson less so with Golden now, but we need Romeo Doubs, and hopefully he can stay healthy. Honestly, it's so hard because now we can't really do anything on offense this entire preseason that's worthwhile. I almost feel like shut him down. I don't know.
And on top of that, like to your point, you can't really do anything worthwhile, at least probably in the passing game, right? I guess outside of the tight ends. Like what are you're not trying to do anything crazy with their receivers. That kind of affects the quarterback competition. Like there's still, I know Malik Willis is going to be the number 2. But Sean Clifford's working for a job here yet.
Mhm.
It's going to hurt offensive linemen. Getting those reps for pass blocking. It's a lot that's coming down to receivers being out here.
Yeah, there's a lot that's going on. It's not fair, but it is what it is. But you're missing 4 of the top 5 wide receivers. You're missing the quarterback, potentially missing the left tackle. You're wanting to limit the starting running back reps as much as possible because he quite literally could push for 350 to 400 touches this year if the Packers have a season they want to have.
Right. Yeah. I guess, like, I mean, there's injuries all across this offense right now. I guess if you're throwing like a silver lining on it, if you're, playing some devil's advocate here, maybe this preseason, Colts and Seahawks, maybe they both get up big and guys have to, learn to play on and short downs on defense, and maybe someone steps up doing that. It's just I'm just trying to pick at straws here to figure out any good thing that comes out of this, which obviously nothing ever good comes out of injuries. But maybe this helps someone on defense step up and win a job.
I mean, in terms of keeping the Packers as healthy as possible for another week, the good news is we do have joint practices for a couple of days now, and you can simulate a lot of game-like reps in a controlled environment. Usually means less injuries. So I assume we do a lot of offensive line stuff in joint practices to really give them a good look. Same thing with Josh Jacobs. We're seeing Josh Jacobs. We're getting the timing down. We're doing all of that. But then when it comes to actual contact, we're not going to the ground as often. No need to see it in a game. Like there's really is no reason. Yeah. And the Packers need to figure out offensive line depth and rotation, stuff like that anyways. So hopefully we don't see much of that again. Totally not fair to Malik Willis to be playing behind a makeshift offensive line. And I assume that also then means less called runs for Malik Willis. I hope so.
Right. Yeah. We don't. I mean, you don't want to give him giving him quarterback designed runs.
Yeah, we don't need to be doing that. But then defensively, it sounds like Anthony Richardson is probably still out, dislocated his pinky, but Daniel Jones is there. So the defense is going to be given looks by another starting NFL quarterback, which is good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
obviously,
for sure.
Obviously during the preseason game, I don't know what much you can take from it, but they didn't look good. So if they could bounce back, that would be great. To be fair to them, mobile quarterbacks always crush in the preseason because you're not game planning for them and because people don't really know their rush lanes, don't really know their assignment. Everyone's only playing base defense as well. So you see like that first Justin Fields touchdown, it was like a 17-yard scramble, I think, or maybe it was a 7-yard scramble. Yes, that defensive end like crashed in, but it is what it is. Like I really don't take much from it. Hopefully we don't do that in the regular season. We've seen plenty of that, obviously, in the regular season from Packers against mobile quarterbacks. But in terms of the product we put on the field in the preseason game, it doesn't alarm me in the slightest. It really doesn't.
No, again, like preseason games are realistically they're practice, right? It's just glorified practice. It doesn't end up really mattering what happens. Everyone gets all excited for football being back and everything, so everyone wants to make excuses immediately and say the season's over after Justin Fields runs in a 17-yard touchdown. But again, even if you don't win, that's not a horrible thing that Justin Fields runs in a touchdown. You get that on film, you correct that immediately, and get ready when you have to face Jaden Daniels week 2.
I agree. There are things to take away from it. Overall, there's no panic button, but the fact that there's certain just blown plays in base defense where people just didn't know their assignment. That's the stuff that bugs you. That's the stuff that's not good. We've seen Isaiah Simmons have a bunch of misalignment, bad spacing, bad reads. We saw some of it again is Simmons, but other linebackers. And again, this is an Achilles heel of the Packers, just letting Andrew Beck and other tight ends just run free. Like we can't have that, especially in the NFC North when we play Colston Loveland, first round pick. We play Sam Laporta. We play TJ Hawkinson. Can't have it. We got to be locked down on tight ends because we know teams we're playing are going to play a tight end and they're going to try to run it down our throats and then they're going to leak behind us. So we need to play disciplined football. And that's the one thing we didn't do. And we will see if we can do that against the Colts. And then who is
to that Packers
point last season? Do you remember? Seattle. That's a good one as well, especially for tight ends.
I was going to say to that point about tight ends, you probably see some Tyler Warren this week too, which is going to be a huge centerpiece of the Colts offense, and it's going to be a little bit of a challenge here for Green Bay, which again is awesome considering Colson Loveland, Cole Kmet, Sam Laporta, TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah, it's a position that's definitely getting better around the league, but the NFC North in particular, very, very good. Packers played non-divisional opponents that also have really good tight ends, so is what it is. Definitely a point of emphasis, I would say, over the final few weeks of training camp. And that's also a position that we could see McKinney play a lot of man-on-man, especially if he's down in the box. Like he could be one of those guys that really solves that issue, and we're not going to see him the rest of preseason. Again, that stinks. Like it just comes down to playing together, it comes down to chemistry, comes down to knowing your assignment. And when we can't get our guys on the field together, it's going to put us behind. Does that mean we're screwed? No, but it stinks. You can't accomplish everything you want with mental reps. It's just, it is what it is. We're playing football.
So kind of to wrap up this whole injury thing here with going to the Colts. Obviously, there's going to be no Jordan Love, right? With the injury on his non-throwing thumb. I can't imagine how much time does Malik Willis see in this game?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we
Quarter?
never really specifically said the injury. So Jordan Love had a minor procedure, is what they're calling it, on his left thumb. He wasn't using his left hand in practice, so it was enough to avoid it. Um, they're saying he can be back as early as next week. And again, they're calling it just a ligament issue, which I would say there isn't much in your thumb other than ligaments and bones.
And
So it was
bone.
one of the two. But non-throwing hand, that's the good thing. How much Malik Willis will we see? I would hope not much, just because of how much we can put him through in joint practices. Let's figure out that quarterback three.
Yeah. So right. So like this is an opportunity for Sean Clifford to kind of show that he's still around. I'm still a guy. You kept me in practice squad last year. I can still I'm still can hang out and be a guy. But I also this Canadian guy they have Taylor Gelsma. They like him a lot. I know he
Mhm.
just recently. I think he recently got drafted by the CFL, so I assume that's where he's going once he inevitably gets cut. But here, like this is a great opportunity to put some tape up for him. I imagine he probably gets at least the fourth quarter. So I'm excited to see if if he's got any fun magic or anything to show on tape.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain things we absolutely can figure out in this game. We can figure out quarterback three. We can figure out what we're doing with with the running backs in particular. One person we've talked about a lot of injuries. One person who's back is Marshawn Lloyd, and
Yeah.
by all accounts, I mean, rave reviews. We know. I mean, we've talked about how good he is. If he stays healthy, I think a lot of people are going to be surprised at how much he's used,
Hmm.
and for one, and two, how good of a compliment he is to Josh Jacobs. Like he is exactly. People are rightfully upset that the Packers let Aaron Jones go when he said he would take a massive pay cut. Marshawn Lloyd was the answer, and he just wasn't on the field last year. So if we see Marshawn Lloyd on the field this year, that'll keep Josh Jacobs fresh theoretically. That'll completely open up the offense. He is a guy you get him in space, and he will be absolutely electric.
Hmm.
So I'm excited to see him. But once again, if we have a backup offensive line, we better not have him on the field this week.
Correct.
If we do, that's the one thing I think I'll be very upset about, because at that point, can't blame him for getting hurt, because
Right.
if he's behind a bad offensive line, that's your fault. But otherwise, we still have Chris Brooks. We're trying to see if he can make the team. Emmanuel Wilson, Israel Bannikanda, and we also just recently signed Tyrion Davis Price. He's a former
Yep.
third-round pick. He can ball. So there's a lot of guys that can make the team, whether it be special teams, whether it be just depth pieces in the backfield. We can figure that shit out this week.
That was another kind of interesting thing that hasn't really been reported for through Packers stuff. Fans aren't talking about it, and I get it. It's not very exciting to talk about. There's probably not a huge story there. But Chris Brooks, I know Emmanuel Wilson's kind of been on and off with an injury throughout training camp, and I think he's still battling a little bit here. Chris Brooks
Mhm.
got the first reps on Saturday. So again, I've talked about it. You've talked about it how many times on the show now for the last couple weeks. Packers really like Chris Brooks. So again, it's another week for him to kind of surpass Emmanuel Wilson as RB3 on this team.
Yeah, and again, there's going to be plenty of looks in practice too, whether he's running with the ones or the twos. Colts defensive line's legit. They got
Yeah.
playmakers. So we should see plenty of good looks for the offensive line, for the running backs, for all of that. Um, Colts should play the run pretty darn well. So we shall see there. Is there any other position groups that we want to talk about or anything like that?
I'm just thinking it's got to be, always during these joint practices, right? It's you want to protect, you want your guys to be protected. Guys are probably going to go a little bit harder than they need to in a practice. Packers are kind of in a weird spot right now, right? With these, especially with these, if Anthony Richardson is out there practicing at all, like that's just absolutely no hit whatsoever. So I
Mhm.
don't necessarily know that pass rusher is going to get a great look in these joint practices. So I don't know. It's just kind of a weird situation right now. But again, to your point about the Colts defensive line, like their linebackers aren't horrible at all. Like Colts
No.
have kind of a sneaky good run defense. So I think Packers are going to be up for a test this week, which again should be fun to watch as there is a positional battle in that backfield.
good defensive coordinator too. Lou Anarumo went there after the Bengals, for whatever reason, released him. So
yeah,
he's there. They got good safeties that play the run well, play the back end well. Corners are suspect, but is what it is. It's not like we're going to beat them with our receivers. So that's interesting. I guess the only other thing I'll say about the game, boy, our special teams, like specialists, are good. Daniel Whelan's a dog.
he's a weapon.
He's such a good punter.
Like it's nobody's going to agree with it because he's a punter and they don't really have that much. They're not on the field that much and have that influence. Daniel Whelan might be the best player on this team.
Yeah, I think maybe some people thought we were joking last year. I think we called him the team MVP for a while. It was him or Josh Jacobs and McKinney, right? Like we're giving out 3 captains, 3 MVPs. Those were the guys. He was terrific. And McManus, obviously, since he's come to town, has been pretty much nothing but automatic. So he's been good. Long snapper's done his job. So
yeah, I mean, McManus, I said it last week too, but it's so nice to have a training camp where you don't have to worry about the kicking position.
Exactly. Imagine how Bisaccia feels.
Right.
He's like trying to figure out shit to talk about, like, what do we do? And then Mecole Hardman drops a punt. So then now he's back like, we need a new special teams coach. We're back to that. But I mean, we'll see. But yeah, kicker, punter, I'd put ours up against any other duo in the NFL. They're very good. It changes the game.
Like Packers beat the Texans last year because of Daniel Whelan. Like I know it came down to McManus hitting a last second field goal, but Daniel Whelan just kept pushing them back to 5 to 5, 10, 15-yard line. Like Packers won like 4 games last year because of Daniel Whelan, man. It's nice to have a good punter.
Yeah. It helps our defense immensely, obviously, right? Yeah. Like our offense is hit or miss. So when we force the other team's offense to drive the field every single time, it's incredible. Like imagine if Rodgers had that instead of J.K. Scott, people like that who just gave short ass fields to the other teams and forced our offense to put up 35 every game. It's night and day difference. And so we can be a little bit passive with that. But then if we get across the 50 whatsoever, we're in field goal position.
Correct.
That's great too. We're in scoring position already. So yeah, we can play chess, not checkers, essentially, the entire game.
And I know that they haven't had the playoff success that they wanted, but I mean, we've seen like Baltimore has made like an incredible 2 decades off of incredible special teams. It kind of feels like John Harbaugh's right. The special teams coordinator comes in, gets a head coaching job, builds around the special teams. I mean, New England kind of built a dynasty around, just good special teams on top of having, Brady and all them. But special teams are so important to a team. And if that is like not necessarily the centerpiece, but if that's a centerpiece of the team to build around that, I think you're sitting pretty. So I'm excited that the Packers kind of finally have that within, we haven't had a kicker since, Crosby when he was 28 years old or whatever. Really have never had a punter in my lifetime. So it's nice. It's nice to have some kind of special teams.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I've heard head coaches talk about special teams more than Bill Belichick and Andy Reid. And we've seen what's happened there. And obviously John Harbaugh, special teams coach from Andy Reid. Belichick talked about for 20 minutes the long snapping fundamentals and stuff like that one time. Like it's such an important overlooked part of the game. If you completely ignore it or just don't do well, you get what the Packers have had for the past decade. We've talked about it to exhaustion, and it's starting to change since Bisaccia's been here. Packers used to just build their offense and defense, and the lower guys on the depth chart play special teams. Now we're actually signing free agents to play special teams. We have invested in our specialists. We're not just drafting guys and praying. So you get proven real threats in all 3 phases of the game, and all of a sudden the Packers, we talk about they're the youngest team in the NFL. You could talk about they're probably the least talented team on paper in the division. Like, I don't think that's even close, really. Our special teams, we got the best duo, and now we're in every single game. Right. It is what it is. So let's tie a bow on the Packers talk in terms of this stuff. Everything we said last week kind of applies to this week. We're going to see fewer starters, I assume, because of joint practices and because of injuries. But I think there's almost nothing to take away from last week's game. And we are again looking at Bo Melton. We're again looking at the backfield. We're again looking to see what we can do in the trenches, what we can do with this quarterback 3 position. There's plenty of positions to be won in this game, and we're filling out 40 through 53 on the roster this week. That's kind of the plan, and I think that's a beautiful thing.
Yep, I agree 100% with you. I'll bring up offensive line a little bit here. Like offensive line didn't really have the greatest game of all time last year, so I might even call it the worst, performance an offensive line's ever had. Maybe I don't know. I'm not saying that. Maybe some people are. Not necessarily that I'm overreacting to it, but I think there might be a spot or two open in a depth rotational piece on the offensive line. That's a position battle going on. Jordan Morgan, Sean Ryan. Those are guys who don't really have a starting spot yet that can kind of use a couple good performances against good teams. So I think, it's really hard to look for offensive line, right? Nobody really knows what they're looking for, but I mean, offensive line is definitely a point of emphasis for me, at least through the rest of preseason.
I completely agree. And speaking of offensive line, I was surprised to see Josh Myers healthy and playing last week.
Agreed.
Like, I knew he was on the Jets. I did not think he was ready to go already. So good on him, I suppose. And he played, perfectly fine. A lot of praise coming from Packers media and stuff, talking about how Josh Myers was like the most respected guy in the locker room. That was interesting to hear.
Yeah,
I have nothing to say yes or no to that, but that's interesting to hear.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I think let's end the show. I feel like you have a little segment that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah. I mean, we can end there. Zach, I was just looking at. I have some trivia for you to fill some time here. I didn't know if Trevor was going to be on, so maybe it's a little bit more trivia than we need to be. But I was looking at this today. On my lunch break, I was looking at since Aaron Rodgers was drafted in 2005, so 20 years ago. I was looking at all the first and second team All Pro players that the Packers have had.
Okay.
We've had 23 unique guys to be an All Pro since 2005. Can you name them?
And you're talking first team or second team?
First or second team All Pro.
Okay. Since 2005. This is going to be a lot. A lot meaning hard to do. So let's go Rodgers off the top.
Yep.
Did Aaron Jones ever get one?
Nope. We only have one running back on the list.
Since 2005. Was it? I'm just thinking out loud. I don't think Eddie Lacy got one. Was it Ryan Grant? Was it James Starks? It's got to be one of those guys, unless I'm completely missing it.
One of those guys.
I'll go with Ryan Grant.
Nope.
Eddie Lacy?
Eddie Lacy, his rookie year. Second team All Pro in 2013.
Good for Eddie Lacy, man. Okay. Devontae, Jordy.
Yep. And those are the only two receivers.
Not Greg Jennings. Okay. Interesting. No. That sucks. Greg, I thought you were the team. David Bakhtiari.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 All-Pro teams, and kind of quietly, not necessarily, guy, but a guy who's in the Hall of Very Good that nobody's ever going to talk about ever again. But
he was incredible. He was top of the position.
Yep.
Talking about if he wasn't All-Pro, it's because Trent Williams won it. Like he was incredible. Brian Brulaga, did he get one? All right. Lane Johnson, huh?
So for offensive linemen, you have a guard and a center.
Corey Linsley at center. Yes or no?
Yep.
Okay. Josh Sitton.
Yep.
Okay.
Three-time second team All-Pro.
He deserves it. He's the reason why the Packers keep drafting guys who played multiple positions. They're just searching for Josh Sitton again. Defensively, so 2005, we got Charles Woodson.
Yep.
Did Morgan Burnett sneak in there?
Nope. For cornerbacks, you have 2 more guys.
2 corners. Jair.
Yep.
And did Rasul get one? with all those
Older.
pick sixes? Older. Al Harris.
Yep.
Okay.
Shout out Al Harris, man.
Can you hear this noise? Lindsay vacuuming upstairs.
It sounds like the opening to Kickstart My Heart.
she could choose anywhere, but the hardwood floor directly above my head is dirty as fuck right now, I guess. Okay, linebackers. Did Nick Barnett get one?
Yep.
Okay. Aaron Campman.
Yep.
At the end.
Two of them.
AJ Hawk,
two second teams. No AJ Hawk.
I had an Aaron Campman jersey, one of the few jerseys I've ever owned.
Aaron Campman was awesome.
No AJ Hawk, that sucks. Those linebackers he played at the same time as are insane.
It's Ray Lewis, Luke Kuechly, Patrick Willis, those,
Urlacher.
Like, I love AJ Hawk, one of my favorite players ever, but you understand why you didn't get it.
Yeah, right. Clay Matthews did though, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So you have another inside linebacker.
Another inside linebacker.
He had one.
Did Brady Topanga get one?
No, way more recent than that. He had an awesome year and then kind of had a tough exit out of Green Bay.
Campbell?
Yep.
Yeah, we should take that back.
And you have one more outside linebacker. Kind of he's like a stand-up end, I would call him.
Julius Peppers?
No, another guy who had kind of a tough exit out of Green Bay. He was awesome for the year. Got a first team All Pro, outside linebacker, D end kind of guy. He's kind of traveled. He's been on 3 NFC North teams.
Oh, Zadarius Smith.
Yep.
That was the first one. Completely drew a blank. That's it. Now just defensive line.
Well, you have You have 2 safeties yet.
Nick Collins.
Yep.
And
this guy was surprised that he got it, but I guess makes sense thinking back. He had a good year. Really, he was highly expected to do well at the safety position when he drafted him.
Clinton Dix.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, he had a couple good years spending the start.
Oh, I'm sorry. You have another safety too. The most recent player on this list.
McKinney.
Yep.
Okay.
So then
did Kenny Clark get one?
No defensive lineman.
Really? That kind of says something. That's interesting.
So two guys left. One's a specialist, but not in the way that you would think he's a specialist. He's still on the team. Who is
kickoff?
No, he's on the team in a new role. Still on the team.
Oh, Keyshawn Nixon.
Yep.
Yeah. Got scared away from his all-pro position.
And the last guy, I'll give it away. Given the position is going to give it away. But it's offense. Fan favorite. He's a kind of a reporter, announcer now with the team.
Oh, Kuhn. Yeah.
Yep.
Good. Did he get first team or second team?
He got a second team in 2011 and a first team in 2014 at fullback.
Nice. Okay. It's the position, so how much competition, but good on him.
Right. That is your 23 guys.
Since 2005. That's...
Yep. Oh, wait, no, you forgot one. I'm sorry. We forgot an offensive guy, a quarterback.
Oh, Favre?
Yep. Dog.
I'll never say a bad word about the man. I love Brett.
He is a character, man.
He's something. I will stand up for him. I remember how deeply insulted I was when he was forced into retirement and then traded to the Jets. I was down in Madison. I think I was in 8th grade. I was down in Madison walking on State Street, and someone had a T-shirt in the window that said, "I'll never forget you, Brent," and with Brett Favre's face. And I was I was pissed. It was hilarious. I'm like,
yeah.
For how much he's done for this organization. God, I love Brett Favre. But, checkered past, man. Checkered future.
Right. So in 20 years, 23 all pros is pretty. It's just like that's solid. I mean, you only get one Super Bowl out of it, but I mean, there's been good players that come through.
I'd like to know where that ranks amongst other teams because I have no
Right.
I have no idea. And we're also talking unique players. We're not talking total all
Correct.
pros. So, a bunch of them won a bunch, and we know the Packers aren't necessarily a rotating door. So a lot of those players played a long time. But I'd like to know where that stacks up against, because the Chiefs are more, the Eagles are more. But like in terms of the division, where do we rank between, or more than the Lions, but like Bears and Vikings?
I'd imagine more than Chicago too.
Probably Vikings are going to be close. They've had
right. Chicago, I'm sure is Chicago's defense. Like, there's not many offensive guys that Chicago's had in the last 20 years.
No. And again, we're talking unique. So like Devin Hester got it, but he got it every time. In terms of kick returner, offensively, maybe Brandon Marshall,
maybe a Brandon. Yeah, maybe a year out of
Matt Forte.
Even that, I mean, it's tough to compete with running backs.
Right. Yeah. Jay Cutler, unfortunately, did not get very many All Pros, I don't think. So.
Right.
That's done.
So I guess to wrap that up, we're a long way before it gets announced. Any do we have any All Pro guys on the team right now?
No. I don't know. I think Josh Jacobs is capable, but running back position, like you just said, is so competitive.
Maybe I can see,
Jenkins could have a big center.
I was gonna say maybe an Elton Jenkins year for center. I could see it kind of sucks he's hurt, but McKinney can replicate anything like last year. I mean, he's probably he's the guy that everyone's already going to write in. Like, if you had to do it right now, people are going to write him in for it.
Edgerrin Cooper flies around. He could certainly do it. Defensive line, I think Kenny Clark's capable. He needs someone to take the heat off of him, but he's there in terms of talent to me. Corners, no. Other safeties besides McKinney, no. And then, I mean, give both the punter and kicker an All-Pro. All-Pro in my heart. Daniel Whelan is he should be carried off the field every game. He's going to be so good this year. He already duped the cameraman in the first preseason game. They didn't know where the ball was because he booted it an extra 30 yards. So good. Okay, so preseason week 2, we got Saturday. Packers play at Indianapolis. We'll see how many starters play. Stay tuned on social media. We'll probably get more clips from the starters on there this week than actual game. And then we'll be back next Wednesday night yet again, probably 6 p.m. So join us on the Flurry Sports YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, everywhere if you want to talk about the preseason, talk about your predictions for the final 53. And if you have any suggestions for segments or games that you want to see us play this entire season, let us know, because we want to change the format a little bit, bring a little fresh air, less serious, more having fun with the Packers this season. So if there's something you want us to do, see, please tell us, and we will do that. Anything else, Luke?
No, again, we're inching close for the regular season. So, as I say at every single show that we do before the season, it's nice that football's here, man.
Agreed. And you guys may know us from Flurry Sports as well, but I do have some content that I need to write and finish up on Let's Go Wisconsin, letsgowy.com. Go and tune in there. All Wisconsin-based stuff. So if you listen to us, you like the Green Bay Packers, obviously. Shout out Bill in the chat, Bill Patsis over on YouTube. You look like Bill Goldberg, sir. I'm not sure if you are him or not, but I'm watching out for a spear. Let's go WI. Let's Go Wisconsin is a Wisconsin brand that we are building up. And so a lot of content there, maybe some content about the Green Bay Packers this season as well. So go check that out. That's a fun site. A lot of Quick Trip and Culver's food reviews as well, not just sports. Luke has one about the best high school mascots in the state. That's one of my favorite articles that we have ever produced, I think. A lot of good stuff there. And we'll see you next